Hi, it's Amanda with Always in Love. We're back with another author interview. The lovely Mae Wood is joining us today. We're going to have some fun with some rapid fire questions and then some more questions about her work and a little bit about her writing process. Thank you for joining us today, Mae.
Thanks for having me. It's fun to hang out with y'all in person as it is.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to just jump right into the rapid fire questions.
Go for it.
Okay. What is your favorite word?
Albeit.
What is your least favorite word?
Be moist.
What is your favorite curse word? You don't have to say, you can always spell it,
The F word. Always the F word.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would like to be a painter. That's what I would like to do. I'm not any good, but I would like to be a painter.
What profession would you not like to do?
Anything with retail. God bless people who do retail. I was a waitress one summer, and I don't have that ability to multitask and be nice at the same time. So anything in retail, I'm just not good at it.
What are you reading right now?
I am actually reading nonfiction right now. I'm working really hard on my third book, and when I write, I have a hard time reading other people's fiction. So I'm reading a nonfiction book called Empty Mansions about a family from the Gilded Age. It's fun.
What is your favorite movie?
That is really hard. I'm going to go with one of the Indiana Jones movies, but not Indiana Jones and Space Aliens. Anything but Indiana Jones and Space Aliens.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Justin Trudeau. Hands down, big crush on Camilf. Yeah.
What is one thing about you that would surprise us?
Oh, this is hard. I'm pretty open about myself, so I don't think there's a lot that's surprising. I'm double jointed. I can pop my arms. I can pop my shoulders out of socket. I know, right?
What are your favorite foods?
Food. I'm pretty indiscriminate. I eat meat. I eat vegetables. Anything that's dead. The only things I don't eat are some shellfish. But my favorite thing in the world, pizza. Just good cheese, good sauce, good bread, pizza.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Neither, and I'm a napper. I'm a big sleeper.
I don't think I've ever met anybody else that's a big sleeper, so good job.
High five.
I need a nap right now.
What is your favorite boy band, past, present?
My favorite boy band. Oh man, there was Take That. They were like a one-hit wonder. Back in the early '90s, I think, maybe mid-'90s. They had a really sappy song. I still could sing it word for word. In fact, it's going through my head right now. I'm not going to bless you with that because no one wants to hear me sing. But Take That.
I'm always looking for those hidden boy bands. We usually get NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Come on, where's the LFO? New edition.
In KOT. I'm not. But yeah, Take That. I think they were British. I'm sure someone out there in YouTube land remembers them too. But Take That. Big crush.
Puppies or kittens?
Puppies.
What is your current favorite TV show?
The Great British Baking Show or Bake Off. I really like it.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
This is really hard because I'm kind of a particular person. But I'm going to go with my biggest pet peeve. People who, like when people, I'm not going to say it's like popping their teeth or whatever, but like, I've spent some time with a few people who make this like clicking noise, and it really was annoying. Sorry.
What is your favorite reality show other than the British Bake Off?
Oh, my favorite reality show other than the British Bake Off. I really wish Project Runway were back, and like Heidi Klum, old school Tim. I really want to like make it work. I really want that show back.
What is the last song that was stuck in your head?
Well, now I have take that, whatever I said, whatever I did. I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. Want you back. I want you back. I want you back for good. I have a kindergartner. So the last song I had stuck in my head was The Song That Never Ends. And you don't want me to start The Song That Never Ends because it doesn't end.
I used to start that all the time just to annoy people. It was awesome. If you could commit one crime without being caught, what would you do?
I think Jewel Thief. Not only do you get to like go in some fancy places, but you get to wear like a cool cat suit and like go under laser beams and things, and then walk out with some jewels. It'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. What temperature is your thermostat set at?
71 degrees.
All year round?
All year round. 71 degrees. No, I just turned the air conditioning down a couple of minutes ago. It's at 71 right now. In the winter, it's, I think we're 68 degree people.
If you were given a choice, what animal would you be and why?
I like people. I like being outside. I like exploring. I like snuggling up. I like naps, Amanda. We've already established that. I like getting. I'm gonna go dog.
Okay, so I lost track of how many questions it was, so we're going to go with that's 20. But I do have a bonus question. Which Harry Potter are you?
I was afraid you were going to ask this.
Sorry.
I have read all the books. I've seen all the movies. I have never done a sorting hat quiz. So I did one earlier today. And according to this quiz I found on BuzzFeed, I am a Hufflepuff. I don't know what this means, but apparently I'm a Hufflepuff.
See, I did the same thing. I never took the quiz, and I always like thought I was Ravenclaw, but I took the quiz and I was Hufflepuff. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not Slytherin. Again, I'm now offending all the people who are Slytherin. But
Okay, so I have one other bonus question, just because I can. What is your craziest fan story?
It's not crazy. This is one. So I have a kindergartner who I've mentioned, and I also have a little boy, a baby infant. And when he was born, a really nice reader handmade some bibs and burp cloths, and she sent them to me. And it's just the sweetest thing, and I love putting them on him. It just makes me happy.
Oh,
and I'm very proud of that. So.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Well, thank you. I guess it's time for some real questions from Natasha.
Oh, those were fun.
Those were like the icebreakers. So I kind of been like cyber stalking you for a while, and then I'm like, Amanda, you have to read Mae's books. So she finally read them, and you know how much I just adore you, and you kind of the start of something for me on my blog. But tell us about yourself, because I can go on and on, but really tell us about you.
My name's Mae, and yes, that is my real name. Wood is not my real name, but I started writing romance 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, is when I started writing Risky Roulette. My head pretty much fully formed when I was in the middle of a client meeting. Professional. I was sitting there in a room filled with men in their 60s, and I said, "Hey, you would be a fun book to write. What about a book?" A woman, and she meets a client, and the client turns out to be a hottie, and then there's a little mystery involved, and some something. But there's all happiness at the end. So I started writing it as a serial, and I sent it to 2 of my best friends, chapter or 2 at a time, just what I could crank out at the end of the day after I put the big kid to bed. And they kept asking for more, and I kept writing more, and all of a sudden I had a book. We put it out there. So I put it out there, and I had no clue what to expect. And here I am with people who I've met, like Natasha and now Amanda. And it's been a really fun adventure. So that's kind of how I came to writing. How about me personally? A mom too. Have a sweet husband who tolerates a lot. Otherwise, I go to work. I come home. I take care of my kids, and if I'm lucky, I get a whole 30 minutes to 2 hours a day to write. Some days I don't get any. Some days work slow, and I can leave early, and I can get 3 or 4. But it's just kind of hit or miss.
So I know none of your characters we really want to kill, but out of your characters of your series, who would you marry and who would you romance?
Oh, well, I'm going to marry Trent Brennan. I mean, if you have the opportunity to write your dream book boyfriend, write your dream book. So he really, he's funny and he's hella smart, and he doesn't take himself too seriously. That's what I like about him, and that's why I wrote him. Who I would date would be his best friend, Bert. It's his childhood best friend, and they own a restaurant together in Memphis, which is named Pig and Barley, and that's the reason the series is called Pig and Barley, because it's the restaurant they own together. Sure, cool cat. He tends the bar, owns the restaurant, he tends the bar, he has some tattoos, he was an all-American swimmer in college, so he's still fit and he still swims, and he's just laid back and chill. Too probably chill for me in real life, but I would definitely love to hang out.
Oh, I can't wait for Bert. Are you a planner, or are you just kind of just go with the flow?
I know where I'm going to start, and I know the high points of novels as far as plot by chapter. Concentrate on telling the story through dialogue, and I don't know what those characters are going to say to each other until I write it down. So in that sense, I'm a pantser with a grand plan, I guess.
So when did you realize, besides being in your meeting with all the guys, and I love to hear about your little old guys, is it Jimmy and John?
Yeah, so Jimmy and John are 2 of the old guys in my book, and they are based on a lot of the work with, and I'm friends with. I've where I spent a lot of time with men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. I've become very dear friends with some of them, and I get great stories. Pheasant hunting trips, boats, planes, men with in years. And I'm like their pet mascot. I'm not quite sure how it happened, but it's fun.
Yeah. So, where do you get in a writing zone? Are you at home, or do you like to go to the pub, or what gets you into your writing besides like having the time to do it?
So if I'm at home, I have a home office, which I live in an old house, and it used to be a sleeping porch. Back before air conditioning, there was like a screened-in room in a house, and ours has been closed in. And I'll give you a little tour. It is tiny. see the outside door. It's still there. And the other side you can't see is all windows now. But it's a tiny, what it really is. And this is where I write a lot. And I also write a lot at a local bakery. It just has a really good vibe to it. And music and kind of a nice energy. And then, of course, Starbucks, because I need caffeine. That's generally where I write.
Do you hear a lot from readers or from your readers, or are you just kind of just, well, I mean, do they bug you constantly? Do they have good phrases, or you're just, oh, I got to shut off for a little bit?
Writing is a really lonely pursuit. I'm here by myself, typing away, hoping for feedback, hoping people would like it, waiting to send stuff to my alpha reader, as I call her, to get her initial take on things. And a keyboard and my head. Hearing from people, and I'm always asking for suggestions from my readers. And I have a little reader group, and I'd love people to join it. Pig and barley, surprise. Input on things as little as names to character ideas I want to see incorporated, because it's more fun for me when it's collaborative like that. Mm-hmm. By readers, I want to hear it, good, bad, or ugly. I want to know what I'm doing.
So I love your playlist for Bert, but when you write, do you listen to the playlist, or, I mean, how is it, you have to have like constant noise, or how is it for you?
It depends on what I'm writing. If I'm writing something, a scene that's fun, I can have music. Usually like something like that, pretty mellow, just kind of coffee shop acoustic stuff. Mm-hmm. Writing something that's emotionally heavy, I need silence. I need to focus on what the characters together and how they're reacting, and I need to get their emotions. And this sounds kind of crazy saying this out loud. If I'm listening, to hear them talk.
Mm-hmm. So we're I lost my daughter came walking in, so I apologize. I lost my little break right here. What was the most surprising thing you learned when you were creating your book?
I'm sorry?
What was the most surprising thing that you learned when you were in your writing your book?
When I was writing my book, surprising thing to me, what write a book? I said I started out with the idea of just writing something fun for me and two of my best friends, and I had no grand plans that, hey, this is going to turn this into a book and I'm going to put this out there for strangers to read. The fact that strangers are actually reading my book, and those strangers have become internet friends, that's really been the most surprising thing to me.
Mm-hmm. What do you, okay, besides your nonfiction right now, what is your who's your influence, and what authors do you like to read?
I like to read chick lit. So Jane Green, huge. Jennifer Weiner, huge fan of hers. Absolutely love her writing. And I would like to think that one day I could write like them, but like with steamy sex thrown in. And that's what I try to do. So they're my influences there. And then I'm constantly seeing other romance writers doing amazing things, making characters of women who they're round, that they have lives. They have interior lives. They have lives that don't have anything to do with men. They're strong and they're capable and they're creative. So when I see other authors putting together work like that, that really inspires me to keep going.
So what are you writing right now?
I'm working on my third book. It's called Plus One, and the plan is for it to be out at the end of January, and it's Bert's story. Bert is Trip's best friend from book one. Like I said, he's the co-owner of Pig and Barley. And Bert's very different from Trip. Trip is your kind of stereotypical alpha male, where he's hard-charging and very business-focused all the time. And Bert's had a different path in life. I don't want to ruin everything, but I'll give you this little hint. Bert's actually a dad. He and his college girlfriend had a surprise baby. So his path in life has been a little different than a lot of romance heroes. And so I really want to tell a story of a mature man falling in love for the first time.
Oh, I can't wait then.
We'll see. I hope you like it.
So, okay, I love how Marissa is so into fashion and Trip. I just picture these suave debonair people running around Memphis area. So, are you really big into fashion, or are you just go with it, or just completely you enjoy watching women and men just yes?
No, I like fashion, but I don't spend a lot of time. I'm not a clothes horse by any means. But Marissa really is inspired by a lot of the women I saw in my law practice, working at fancy law firms, and they spend a lot of time presenting themselves well, because that's part of the job, is trying to look composed and polished, and coming off very professional and pulled together. And a lot of time women do that through fashion, just like you do in any business setting or any career or whatever it is you're trying to communicate. You do that through your clothes. I say that in like a t-shirt. But I wanted to bring that aspect of Marissa's professional life and her personal life in, because it's important for her, coming from a farming family and being thrust into a professional position, cognizant of how she portrays herself from the outside.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why I relate to her so much.
Did your dad
and then,
go work at the co-op?
No, he just runs cattle and he sold farms. And so my mom was a town folk, so so that's why I think like we went to town, we dressed as best, but when we're on the farm, anything goes. So, one of my last questions is we know why you Pig and Barley, but why did you come up with Pig and Barley like as the series name?
The name of the restaurant came to me. I wanted something that was kind of stereotypically hipster. And there's a lot of restaurants now that are whatever and whatever, or coffee shops that are whatever and whatever. And I thought about these two guys who are friends and they're foodies and what they really wanted, and they wanted some big things. And they wanted some barley in the form of whiskey and bourbon and also beer. So that's how I came up with the name Pig and Barley, and it just kind of real restaurant name. The series originally named it Give Me Memphis, but I don't think that really captured this that I want to bring to the table as far as food and how food feeds into people's kind of emotional life and relationships with others.
It's beautiful. I just always picture inside the bar when you're writing it, so it's really, I like it. Amanda, anything for her?
I do. Mine is all about the food, because
Good food.
So I know you're from the South, from Memphis, and there's a lot of Southern influence in the food itself, shrimp and grits and things like that. And then there's also this really high-end sort of like French flair to the food in the South. So are you, do you cook, or was this just like a lot of research and going out to restaurants, that type of thing? Or, how did you come up with that type of combination?
I'm a big eater. I love food. I love going out to eat. Kind of classic French influence appears in a lot of It's been brought to the table in the Deep South recently, probably in the past 20 years. So I say recently, during the course of my life. Bringing those classic French elements and kind of gussying up home-style food that we all grew up eating from our grandmas, but making it fancy. You know, bringing in quail eggs like that to the table. And thankfully eating to the food.
So I have to ask, are you a big grits fan? Tip.
Okay, here's a deep, dark secret. Oh, this may be a surprise to you. Growing up, ever.
Really?
My mom is Northwest, and she married a sweet Southern boy. Mom does not know how to make grits. I did not. That said, my little girl eats grits all the time. Made for breakfast often at preschool, or when she was in preschool. And she had it come apart at a restaurant in Oregon one summer. When we walked in, we asked her what she wanted for dinner, and they didn't have grits on the menu. So, yes, grits, but I came to it as an adult.
That is kind of surprising. Missouri's not really the South, but at least I even grew up on grits. So. But yeah, I really enjoyed the way that you were able to combine the two, the fusion of the high-end French and then the comfort food. I mean, I've seen restaurants serve like those little baked crostini things with different spreads with the shrimp and grits and things like that to try to make them. So I'm glad you didn't try to just, throw a garnish on there. I like the way that you really thought out and planned the meals and the dishes that were served.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I worked really hard, and I'm working hard on Bert's story too. His love interest is from a winemaking family. So, cheers to that. But I'm having a good time researching and not just drinking, but doing a lot of research into wine and what goes with food and how people describe wine, so I can hopefully bring that realism to this book.
Was it hard to write all the lawyer talk with you being a lawyer? Did you feel like, oh, I'm gonna just go off in my, bigger, was it hard to do that, or was it just easier flow for you?
It was really yes and no. How's that for a lawyer answer? It was easy in many respects. Because I knew kind of what the concepts were. Thankfully, my alpha reader is not a lawyer. She's a pharmacist. So she knows nothing about the law, just like I don't know which Sudafed does whatever to my nose, other than the good stuff is behind the counter. So she brings a lot to the table in making sure that if I'm selling something that's legal, I don't become a lawyer, that I still stay being a storyteller.
Good. Well, that's all I have. Amanda, anything else?
No, I think you got them all. You covered everything. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Our review is live now for Risking Ruin, so check that out as well. And thank you again, Mae, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you, Natasha. It was great to hang out with y'all in person, and I truly appreciate getting to know y'all.
Yes, thanks again, Mae. We really appreciate it. I know it's kind of late and you have little ones, so again, we appreciate everything and can't wait to read the next one and everything you do.
Have a good night.
You too.